close your eyes for a second. Seriously, just for a moment, I want you to picture the ultimate image of, finding peace.
Right.
What do you see? If you're like most people, you're probably picturing the old days.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're seeing this dusty, winding road stretching way up into the Himalayas.
You see a monk in robes.
Exactly. Walking barefoot, maybe bleeding a little.
Right, because he's been walking for months.
He's isolated, he's in pain, he's starving.
He's completely withdrawn from the world to find enlightenment.
Right. It's this massive, heavy idea that peace requires suffering. That to find yourself, you basically have to lose your life.
It is a really powerful image there. I mean, it's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
We just love the idea that the prize is at the end of some intense torture gauntlet.
We really do.
But I want to pivot immediately here. What if that image is completely wrong?
Okay.
What if I told you that the dusty road and the isolation aren't the price of admission? What if that entire concept is actually keeping you from being happy right now?
See, that is a bold claim. Because I feel like we are completely wired to believe that anything worth having, especially mental peace, has to be hard work.
We are wired that way. But the research we're diving into today flips that entirely on its head.
Right.
It poses this radical question. Do you really believe the mountain is the only way?
And the answer is no.
Exactly. Because the whole thesis we're unpacking is that you do not have to leave your life behind. You don't need the mountain.
That's great.
You definitely don't need the pain. And you don't need to go sit in a cave for 10 years.
Which is fantastic news because I don't have 10 years and I really, really like air conditioning.
Fair enough.
But seriously, welcome to Manifestation Matters. On this deep dive, we are stripping away the mysticism and getting down to the mechanics of peace.
That's right.
We're exploring the idea that mindfulness and that sense of being grounded are not, expensive luxuries for the spiritual elite.
No, they're practical tools available right here, right now.
Exactly. So what's the mission for today's deep dive?
The mission today isn't to talk about high-level philosophy that you can't actually use. We're going to unpack specific, simple exercises from our source material that prove happiness is free.
Free is my favorite price.
Right. We're going to give you the manual on how to, as the phrase goes, let the silence be louder than doubt.
Let the silence be louder than doubt. Man, that is the hook for me today.
It's a great line.
Because doubt is loud. It is the loudest thing in my life most days.
For a lot of people, yeah.
But before we get to the how, I want to push back on this myth of the mountain a bit more.
Okay, let's do it.
Why are we so obsessed with the idea that we have to suffer to find peace?
It's all about value perception.
What do you mean?
We value what we pay for. If I tell you peace costs $10,000 and a grueling trek across a desert, you think, wow, that must be some high-quality peace.
Premium peace?
Exactly. But if I tell you it's free and you can do it in your kitchen in sweatpants, you undervalue it.
That makes total sense.
But the material we're looking at today contrasts that self-sacrifice of the old days with the reality of everyday life. The insight is that true mindfulness isn't about escaping your reality.
Right.
It's about inhabiting it fully.
So it's not checking out, it's checking in.
Precisely. The text says you don't have to leave your life behind.
Right.
Think about how liberating that is for a second. You don't have to quit your job, you don't have to leave your family or move to a yurt in the woods.
No yurts required.
None. You find that peace is simple within the chaos of the deadline, the traffic, the screaming toddler.
But that's harder, isn't it?
Is it?
I mean, it feels easier to find peace on a quiet mountain than in a traffic jam on the 405.
It feels harder because we are fighting the environment. There is a line in our research that is the absolute key to unlocking this.
Let's hear it.
Breathe it in, let go of the fight.
The fight. Let's dig into that. Because I feel like I'm fighting all day long.
We all do.
But I'm fighting to get things done. I'm fighting for my career. Is it saying I should just stop trying?
Yeah.
Give up?
No, and that's a really common misconception. It is not about passivity.
Okay.
It's about resistance. The fight is the mental friction where you are wishing the present moment was different than it is.
Oh.
You're in traffic and you're angry that you're in traffic.
Yes. Every time.
But that anger doesn't move the cars. It just burns your energy.
That's true.
Letting go of the fight means accepting, okay, I am in traffic. Once you stop fighting the reality, you can actually deal with it calmly.
So the fight is the gap between reality and what I want reality to be.
Bingo. And closing that gap is where the peace actually lives.
Okay.
So let's get practical. We promised tools.
Yes, let's get into the actual exercises.
The material gives us a specific how-to for the daytime. It's called the walking meditation.
Okay, walking. I have to be the skeptic here for a second.
Go for it.
We all walk. I walk to get coffee. I walk to the train. I am definitely not enlightened when I'm walking to catch a bus. I'm usually stressed, checking my watch, making sure I have my wallet. So what is actually being asked for here? Because just walking isn't a magic pill.
That is the crucial distinction. We aren't talking about transportation.
Okay.
We are talking about synchronization. When you walk to the bus, your body is moving forward, but your mind is already at the office.
Yeah, I'm rehearsing a meeting.
Or it's back at the house worrying if you left the stove on. You are physically here, mentally there. That creates tension. That is the exact opposite of peace.
Okay, so the stress comes from the separation of the body and the mind.
Exactly. The exercise here is deceptively simple. It says to take just 5 minutes. You can do it in the sunshine, in the rain, down a hallway at work, but the instruction is to take it step by step.
Step by step. Again, sounds simple, but break that down for us.
It means you are focusing entirely on the mechanics of the movement.
Like the physical feeling.
Yes. You feel the heel strike, the roll of the foot, the push off the toe, and you pair it with the breath.
Breathe it in, breathe it out.
You're using the physical sensation of walking to anchor your mind to the present second. You aren't walking to get somewhere. You are just walking to walk.
And what's the payoff? Because honestly, 5 minutes of walking in a circle sounds a bit boring.
The payoff is that phrase you loved earlier. Let the silence be louder than doubt.
Right. Let's talk about the doubt part. Why is doubt so loud?
Doubt lives in the abstract. It lives in the what-ifs. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I'm not good enough?
The highlight reel of anxiety.
Exactly. Those are all stories your brain is inventing. They aren't real. They are just noise.
So doubt is basically a fiction writer living in my head.
A very prolific fiction writer.
Yeah.
But walking, feeling the ground, smelling the air, feeling the sun, that is real. That is data.
Go.
When you flood your brain with the sensory data of step by step, you are turning up the volume on reality. And when reality gets loud, the doubt has to get quiet. You physically crowd it out.
That makes sense. It's like you're overloading the system with the now so the maybe can't get through.
Exactly. It makes you feel alive because you are actually inhabiting your life instead of just thinking about it.
Okay, I buy that. 5 minutes, step by step. Breathe it in. I can do that. That handles the day. But now we have to talk about the boss level.
The nighttime.
The nighttime reset.
Yes.
This is where I struggle, and I know a lot of our listeners do too. The text says, tonight before you sleep, when the world slows down.
Right.
But for me, when the world slows down, my brain speeds up.
It's the worst time.
That's when the silence actually feels dangerous, because there's nothing to distract me from my anxiety.
That is the universal struggle. When the external noise stops, the internal noise becomes deafening.
So loud.
The exercise here starts with a visualization. Sit with your breath and let thoughts fall down.
Let thoughts fall down. I'm looking at this line, and honestly, it frustrates me a little.
Why is that?
It sounds like telling an insomniac to just sleep. If I could just let my thoughts fall, I wouldn't be staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. It feels way easier said than done.
You're right, and I think the material actually anticipates that exact frustration. It doesn't say the thoughts will stop coming. It uses a very specific instruction.
What is it?
Don't hear the sound.
Which, again, sounds completely cryptic. Don't hear the sound. What does that actually mean when the sound is my internal monologue screaming about a deadline?
Right.
How do I not hear something that is coming from inside my own head?
Think of it like a radio playing in the next room.
Okay.
You can hear that it's on, right? You can hear the bass thumping through the wall.
Yeah.
But you can choose not to try and decipher the lyrics. You can choose to let it just be background noise. Don't hear the sound means don't engage with the content of the thought. Don't argue with it.
So if my brain says, hey, you forgot to email Steve, I don't start problem solving.
Correct. You acknowledge the noise, but you don't listen to the message. The text says to bring your mind back safe and sound.
Safe and
That phrase is key. It implies that wandering into those thoughts is actually dangerous. It's like walking out into a storm. Bringing it back to the breath is seeking shelter.
But the material also gets real. It admits the mind will run, the mind will scream.
Yes.
And man, do I relate to the mind will scream. that panic loop.
It's the scream of the ego trying to regain control. But here is the tool to fix it. It's called forehead focus, steady and clear.
Forehead focus. Are we talking about the third eye spiritual concept here, or is this just a physical trick?
It works on both levels, but let's look at the physiology of it.
Let's do it.
When you are anxious, your eyes tend to dart around even behind closed lids. You are scanning for threats.
That's true. Rapid eye movement while awake.
Right. By focusing your attention on a single spot, the center of your forehead, you physically stabilize your optical nerve. You give your brain a single anchor point.
So it's a way to freeze the frame.
Yes. And the instruction is, when thoughts attack, don't disappear.
Don't disappear. That is such a haunting way to put it. What does it actually mean to disappear?
It means getting carried away. You know that feeling when you start thinking about an argument you had 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah?
And suddenly it's 20 minutes later and you're angry and sweating in bed?
Very familiar.
You disappeared from the present moment. You were abducted by the thought.
Wow. Yeah, I was completely abducted by the past.
The practice is to stay here. And when you do get abducted, because you just come back again.
Come back again.
That repetition isn't failure. That repetition is the workout. That is the bicep curl for your brain.
I love that. The return is the rep. You aren't failing when you get distracted. You're just setting up for another rep.
Exactly. Now, this brings us to the philosophical pivot point of the whole deep dive.
Okay.
We've talked about the tools, but we need to talk about the enemy. The text mentions a battle inside your mind, but it clarifies something huge.
What's that?
It says the battle is not with others, but with time.
Not with others, but with time. This is where it gets really interesting for me. Because I feel like I'm constantly fighting other people, their expectations, their emails, their noise. But the text says the real enemy is time.
Think about it. What is stress? Stress is almost always a time travel problem.
Unpack that. A time travel problem.
Yeah. If you are regretting something, where are you?
I'm in the past.
Right. And if you are anxious about a deadline or a bill, where are you?
I'm in the future.
The battle with time is the struggle to be anywhere except right here. The text is arguing that you are fighting a war on two fronts.
Relitigating the past and pre-letting the future.
Exactly. And because we're fighting on those fronts, we completely abandon the present.
We leave the only place where we are actually safe.
The right here.
To go fight ghosts in the past and monsters in the future.
Exactly. In this exact second, right here, sitting in this chair, taking this breath, is the boss yelling at you?
No, that's a memory.
Is the bill due this very second?
No, that's a projection.
That is wild to think about. If you really shrink your life down to just this second, usually everything is okay.
That's the present place. That is the only demilitarized zone.
And that leads to the emotional side of this. To stop fighting time requires a massive amount of kindness to yourself.
The text says kindness grows when you see inside.
Right. And feel your emotions as they rise. Don't push it aside.
Don't push it aside. This is critical. We talked earlier about letting go of the fight. Pushing an emotion down is a fight.
It takes massive energy. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater.
If you're sad and you're fighting the sadness, you're just exhausting yourself.
The way to live is to let the beach ball float. Acknowledge it. Feel it. And then there is this line that I think is the most beautiful thing we've read all year.
I know the one you're talking about.
Every breath is an act of grace.
Every breath is an act of grace. I actually stopped reading for a second when I hit that.
Same here.
It feels religious, but also very biological at the same time.
It redefines your entire relationship with existence. Grace, by definition, is an unmerited gift. You don't earn it.
You don't pay for it.
You didn't do anything to deserve this next breath. It is just given to you.
So if every breath is a gift, then I don't have to struggle to survive. I am being supported.
You are being sustained. If you can shift your perspective to see your breath as grace, then the stress of the battle with time starts to dissolve.
You realize you are being taken care of by the simple biology of being alive.
Which leads us to the final value proposition here. We live in a world where wellness is a trillion-dollar industry.
Absolutely.
We are constantly sold the idea that we need the expensive retreat, the monthly app subscription, the supplements, the specialized gear.
And our deep dive today rips that completely apart. It poses the question, where is happiness?
And the answer is right here.
And then it asks us at the cost.
Yeah.
And it repeats it 3 times, almost like a chant.
How much does it cost? It's free, it's free, it's free.
That repetition is aggressive. It's like it's trying to shake us awake.
It's trying to deprogram us. We are so conditioned to think the solution to our stress is external and expensive. This text is saying the solution is internal and free.
the barrier to entry is absolutely zero.
You don't need the mountain. You don't need the dusty road. You just need the willingness to feel alive.
It's democratizing peace. It's saying you, listening to this right now, you have everything you need.
It is deeply rebellious when you think about it. It takes the power out of the marketplace and puts it back into your hands.
Or rather, into your breath.
Exactly.
So let's bring this all home. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. We started by smashing the myth of the mountain. You don't need pain to find focus.
We gave you the daytime tool, the walking meditation, 5 minutes, step by step. Use the physical sensation of walking to make the silence louder than the doubt.
And we gave you the nighttime tool, the nighttime reset, forehead focus. When the mind screams, don't argue with it.
Just come back, safe and sound, again and again.
And we identified the real enemy. It's not your life, it's time. Stop fighting the past and the future. Win the battle by staying in the present.
And remember, every breath is an act of grace.
So true.
I want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on today.
Okay.
We talked about the battle with time. If the battle is only with time, and we have the absolute ability to control our presence, to be right here, right now, have we already won?
That is the ultimate question. If you stop fighting time, what is actually left to fight?
Maybe the war ends the moment you decide to take one conscious breath. Maybe you've been holding the white flag in your pocket the whole time.
That's a thought worth sitting with.
Look, we don't want you to just listen to this and say, well, that was nice, and then go right back to stressing out.
No, we want you to apply it.
We want you to try it. Seriously. Put the phone down after this and walk for 5 minutes.
Try the forehead focus tonight in bed. Just see what happens.
And we have a specific favor to ask. We're trying to build a community here of people who are ready to let go of the fight. If you got any value out of this deep dive, please smash that like button.
It tells the algorithm that this stuff matters.
And subscribe to the channel. We have so much more to cover.
And share this video with a friend. You know the exact one.
Yep, the friend who is always rushing, always stressed. Send this to them. Tell them, hey, peace is free.
Be the person who shares the calm.
And finally, leave a comment below. I want to know specifically, which exercise are you going to commit to trying today?
I'm really curious about this.
Are you team walking meditation or are you team forehead focus? Let us know.
I'll be reading the comments to see which one resonates more with you guys.
Thanks for diving in with us on Manifestation Matters. Remember, you don't need the mountain. You just need 5 minutes.
Peace is simple.
See you next time.